Hello everyone, I'm Caleb with Danzy Design Build, and we are here in our Hobbit house project that we're working on, and we just finished the tile. And I wanted to show you the 3 steps that we went through in order to get a good solid tile installation that's going to be durable and result in no cracks in this floor. So step number 1 is the preparation, and what we're looking for here in this step is to have a good surface on which we can build the rest of our tile floor. So in the Hobbit house and in a lot of basement finishes, you're going to have just a concrete slab, and that may or may not be very level. And so the first step would be to put a self-leveling compound on there. And those are basically a specialized concrete product that's really runny and helps level out the floor so it's good and level and smooth. Those also need to have a little bit of a primer to help them adhere onto the existing concrete. So we've wrapped that up here and been able to do that on this project. So one other thing with that is we put the foam on the perimeter around where the baseboard would go and where the drywall is, so that any of that self-leveling compound doesn't just seep in behind the walls and disappear as we're filling the voids in the floor and filling in and making it all leveled out. The next part of the floor prep would be putting down the actual floor underlayment membrane, which we use the Schluter Ditra, which is this orange sheet that you can see here. It kind of has like a waffle pattern in it. It's a grid. And basically what that does is it's cemented down with thin set to the self-leveling compound that we put down. And then that is where you lay your tiles on top of. And that helps give the floor a little bit of wiggle room, if you will, so that any slight movements in the actual concrete slab underneath the self-leveling, if that shifts or cracks or continues to move a little bit, that membrane gives the floor some wiggle room so that it does not transfer that crack up through the actual tiles. So step number 2 for this is the actual tile installation. And on this, basically what we did was we first decided the orientation of the tiles, how we were going to lay those out, and then the pattern. So we decided to go with a random staggered pattern because this is a wood look tile. So we thought that would be very appropriate and fit very nicely with this room. And then from there, we actually took a chalk line and made a dead straight line so that we know that that first row of tile is going to be straight, independent of how straight the wall may have been left from the drywall and the framing and anything else. So that first row is dead straight, and from there we can continue on with our pattern with straight rows of tile. So the next thing what we do here is you can actually see that we're underlaying all of the tile with complete coverage of the thin set that goes underneath the tile. That's the mortar that the tiles are stuck down to the floor with. And it's really important to have complete coverage on every single tile so that they have a complete bed and support system underneath there to keep them from cracking. Step 3, the final step in this video, is to actually put in the grout in between the tiles. So to do that, the first thing that we did was clean out in between every single tile any globs of thin set that may have been left over, creating a nice space for that grout to seat in between the tiles. And then from there, vacuuming out and mopping the floor just to make sure that everything's clean and ready for the grout to go in. Then we actually get to mix up the grout, and the fun part there is choosing the color of the grout, because you can really make the floor have a different personality based on what color of grout that you choose. And then from there, we put the grout in and shove as much of it as we can down into that space in between the tiles so that it has a good bedding for the grout as well. And then after it dries for a while, a few minutes, come back with the sponge and wipe it off and make sure that you leave the texture with that look that you want the grout to have. If there's any areas that were slightly imperfect, it's pretty easy at this point to touch them up because the grout has not completely dried yet, and to be able to leave it with a really professional, nice looking finish. So that's the last step. If you'd like to learn more about our custom build and design projects that we've done, you can check out our website, danzydesignbuild.com. And if you're looking to see how we can help you with your project, you can request a consultation there as well. We'd be happy to talk to you about what you're looking to do. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.